On the line right now from Herkimer County is John Scarano. John, good morning. Thanks for coming on.
Good morning. How are we doing?
Good. You want to comment on those emails?
I sure do. In fact, we were privileged to see them a few days ago, and we have not said a word. But now that it's on the air, I've been on the IDA since way before those emails. Very proud to be on the IDA. Very proud of what I've done for Herkimer County. Boards that I've served on for no cost, unlike some of the three people that commented there. We are not, I thank you for the Einstein comment, but we are not clueless. Look at our pumpkin patch, compare it to Marcy Nano. Let's see how many jobs each one has. But to blatantly say that we are clueless after all the hard work we've put in is total BS. In fact, and I may get in trouble for this, but that's okay too, since it's on the air, Mr. Brindisi has said that he might be able to come and talk to the board, the IDA board, next week and apologize. And you know why? I read those emails. Now, doesn't matter who said what, they all agreed. Not one of them stepped up and said, hey, Mr. DeMayo, that's not true. The IDA are not morons. They're not clueless. Herkimer County is not clueless. You know what? If that's the mindset, Herkimer County ought to foil some other topics and see what they think about Herkimer County. And this gentleman is running to represent Herkimer County and does now. That's not correct. And an apology in a closed room at an IDA meeting isn't going to get it from me. I am not clueless. I worked very hard.
So you
are maybe even harder than Mr. Brindisi.
You are furious that Anthony Brindisi did not stick up for you guys.
Exactly. I have backed Mr. Brindisi for quite a while. The chamber has. You know, we have our legislative breakfast, and I've always complimented him. But for him not to retort that, only wants to apologize when we got caught and in a closed room. No, that should be publicly, and if not, I will do it. In fact, I'm kind of doing it now. But you know what? You get to be my age. You work very, very hard for no cost, unlike some other people. I work on 3 or 4 different boards in our county. I have 400 business members that would not appreciate that comment. And for him and whomever to make it or not to retort that comment is very, very offensive. He'll know it now, and he owes me more than an apology. He owes me a sit-down with just him and I, because I have nothing but back him. Now, maybe he'll say, I didn't know John Scarano was on the IDA board. Well, before you agree to things, you ought to do your homework.
Yeah.
I certainly do. Whatever you think about that, Bill, I know you're a show host, and you have to take some comments. You don't take comments. But I work really hard, and I don't deserve that comment in the background that only came forward because somebody else spoiled it. And God knows there may be other comments about Herkimer County or the IDA. It's not right.
I'm going to ask
you know what?
Yep. Yes.
North Valley Edge, their footprint takes in Herkimer County. So does Mr. Brindisi's territory. And guess what? He wants the whole county when he thinks he wants to run for Congress. Not right.
I got to tell you, if there was
he'll be at my breakfast, and I'll probably have 200 people in front of him.
Yeah.
And give him a venue to speak about the area and everything. Kind of tainted now as far as I'm concerned.
I have to tell you, when I was at Waterfront, there were officials there livid, extremely upset over the. I got to get your mics are moving all around this morning. I'm going to ask you,
John. So I just have a quick question. So again, you are upset that he did not speak up on your behalf, but you also recognize he is not the one who made those comments.
I understand Mr. Brindisi's not, but Mr. DeMayo has got nothing to do with me. Mr. Brindisi does. You know what I'm trying to say?
Right. Okay.
But you know what? And to go along with comments to say, and I think he's the one that said Herkimer County is useless. So
no. That was DeMayo, but he did say.
I agree.
Well, there was one comment that Brindisi made. I would have to. But in usual fashion, Herkimer is screwing it up. So that did come from Anthony Brindisi.
All right. Please understand my anger. With that mindset of those guys, with only foiling some emails on one subject, what has been their mindset all along? And you know what? To say that this project would benefit Bono, let him speak on it himself, but it's not so. That's not so. And, to do that behind closed doors tells me what else? And I would have thought that representing part of Herkimer County, I would have liked to see an email there that said, hey, guys, back off a second. That's not really true. But guess what? You won't find one email that says that.
John,
That's not true.
Can I, and I understand why you're upset. John, can I ask?
By the way, we're talking to John Scarano, Herkimer County Chamber of Commerce.
Well, yeah, I'm upset because I thought this was going to be quiet. I was told it was going to be quiet, by my people. Don't say nothing. Now I'm hearing it's all around the tailgate party. That's not so. I have children who live in this area. I have a board to be responsible to. I have well over 400 business members in Herkimer County that would, now they're going to say, John, aren't you on the IDA? What the hell's going on?
Yeah.
It's not right.
John, what's your take on the hospital downtown? Whether it be on your perspective from the chamber, the IDA, you personally, what are your feelings on the hospital downtown?
Honestly, I don't know a lot about it, but I'm for anything that's right. Okay, do it right. I would say let the voters vote on it. I'm not in Oneida County. Do we need the best health care in the region? And I'm a regional person, very regional. We belong to Genesis Group. We belong to Canby. We're very regional. So if that's the best place for it in the region, so be it. But do it right. That's what I'll say. Now, when you look at those emails, you look through all those 4 or 5 or 6 emails. You tell me if that's regional, talking about Herkimer County like that. God knows what other things they've said about us. And you will never find an email from John Scarano like that. That's not going to happen. And you know what? As soon as I have a board meeting tomorrow, I'm going to have board members that listen to your program. They're going to say, aren't you on that IDA board? Are you going to say something? Are you going to do something? It's not right. It's just not right. I wouldn't say it about them. I have always been kind to Mr. Rindisi, to Mr. Pacenti, and to Steve DeMille. I have never, hi, guys, how you doing? I attend their meetings. Always invite them to my meetings. And now I think they think I'm an Einstein. Well, thank you.
Do you feel there's this certainly, I think there, I have to say, the push is always on a region, that it's regional. And John, that being Herkimer County less populated than Oneida County, because Oneida County has Utica and Rome, there are concessions that you guys have had to make over the years to think about a bigger picture, right?
Absolutely.
And
absolutely.
Clearly, this email, even before it was on the radio, these emails, would you say they're hurting that process? They're making you feel like maybe it's not so regional after all.
Exactly. I think it's made us take a step back. I have said those are my friends to the west. Boy, I don't know if they're my friends, but I have always supported them. I'll be going to the Genesis breakfast in Utica, but now I want to look at that like, whoa! If these guys speak about regionalization at this Genesis meeting, I got to question that. Wouldn't you?
John, can I ask you as well, can you react to something that was suggested here? Basically, if we're going to move this hospital forward downtown and we need the support of Herkimer County, Herkimer County's got to get something. Basically, that some people in Herkimer County were saying, all right, well, what are you going to...
Suitcase of cash.
Things like that. What is your reaction to that maybe some leaders in Herkimer County were saying, well, we would support this, but, you got to do something for us on the back end, or we're not going to support this unless you do something for Herkimer County?
Honestly, I'm not. That's not my mindset. That's not my mindset. If Oneida County has a plan for a regional hospital, so be it. That's great. That is great. I have no problem with that. I don't expect Herkimer County to get a piece of something because somebody else got something. I certainly now, with comments that I hear about Herkimer County, I'm wondering in the past with all these RADC monies if something hasn't come our way because it was blocked. And you can look at that. It mentions, Lorraine DeStito. It mentions Mr. Pacenti, Mr. Brindisi, Mr. DeMille. None of them has stepped forward and saying, you know what, Herkimer County is not a bad place. I didn't see that in those emails. God knows what's in other emails. So, if you're going to be regional, I don't believe that because somebody in the region benefits, somebody else should also benefit. But I do believe that it should be a fair playing field, and some of the people that are on these committees should not think differently about people in their region. We are in the region.
This conversation, when this was all going on, this was about a hydroponics plant that you guys were looking to bring to Herkimer County?
Yeah, we tried very, very, very hard to get it.
Yeah.
Very hard. And we did very well with Heidelberg. We did very well with Tractor Supply. That part, and we've got something that will, hopefully be announced shortly. Another company going in there. I'm not jumping the gun on it, but I won't mention the name. That park is going to be full.
Yeah.
I would love to have them say, "Great job, you Einsteins." It's just not right.
Yeah.
I have attended many, many, many things. I've been with the Chamber 14 years. One of the first things I went to was something about nano. We lost AMD. Well, guys, I don't know who the Einsteins are, but a ton of money. You tell me how many jobs are up there. Please tell me. Currently. I don't care what's coming tomorrow. Tell me how many jobs are there currently. For how many millions and millions and millions of dollars. And I understand all of that. But I would have never commented on it till now. If you're gonna comment, then you got to take the comment back. There's very few jobs up there. I went one time years ago to what would you want to call them? Job interviews. No, I didn't get interviewed, not me, but
yeah.
I asked. I said, "What do you do with all these applications? You've had 2, 3, 4. Oh, we put them aside." Well, it's been 13 years. I hope the people that applied 13 years ago have jobs now. I really do. Maybe Mr. Brindisi can help with the jobs.
John,
but, I'm on a roll. I'm driving.
You're on a roll. Let me just hop in for a second because I know you are.
No doubt.
You obviously take those comments to heart.
So when I hear this on the radio, and I listen to your show all the time, and I was asked not to say it, I honored that. Now I'm hearing that this is all out of the tailgate party. Well, that doesn't fly with me.
Well,
so now
listen,
I'm on the radio,
and I have to say, and people certainly know my politics when it comes to the congressional race coming up. I'm not a fan of the congresswoman who refuses to come on the show and calls us horrible names. And I do believe Anthony Brindisi calls me
you horrible names.
Usually she's calling me those names to you, to be honest.
No, that's not true.
But I have to tell you, I like Anthony Brindisi. This is a
I do too.
This is a big.
I do too. That's one thing I got to say.
But
I always backed him. Mr. Brindisi, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? You know what he's going to tell me? John, I didn't know you were on the IDA board. Well, you know now.
I want to say that for those, as Michael called up from Paris Hill, I understood what firestorm this was going to create. But listen, these emails were foiled. They're now public. It is my duty to not – I cannot protect someone I prefer. If I protect Anthony Brindisi, then I'm making a grave mistake. And
couldn't agree more.
It would be a huge mistake to the people who listen to this program.
And you know what?
That's why
the director of the Herkimer County Chamber of Commerce, we back our elected officials. I have always backed Anthony Brindisi, whether I like Claudia or not in the picture. I always backed Anthony Brindisi. But when it becomes public that I'm called an Einstein and useless because I'm on a board free of charge, I work long hours, then I'm speaking as John Scarano, not as an employee of the Chamber of Commerce. And I would never have done that in email. So,
John, let me ask you two things really quickly. One, I asked you earlier if you supported the hospital downtown. Do you view a downtown Utica hospital as a benefit, at least to southern Herkimer County? Herkimer, Mohawk,
absolutely.
You do, okay.
Absolutely. I've been at St. Luke's. I've been at St. Elizabeth. We need something. I brag very, very highly of the Bassett Hospital, Little Falls, New York, the only city in Herkimer County. They've done a beautiful job. And you know what? As far as I'm concerned, it's very close to downtown Little Falls. It's 1 block from where I grew up. It's beautiful. We would benefit. I'm not a line person. I didn't draw lines in the sand 200 years ago, Herkimer County, Oneida County. I have never, ever been that way. But
John,
oh boy, I don't know.
I want to ask you as well. I know. As I mentioned, you're taking these comments to heart.
Yes.
Were you involved in any of the meetings? Because I'm almost wondering if maybe they're not talking about John Scarano. They're talking about people they met directly with to try to work out some kind of an agreement.
That comment said the Einsteins at Herkimer County IDA. Now, there's only 2 people that work at Herkimer County IDA. I have been an officer of Herkimer County IDA, and on the board for a number of years. I work very, very hard. Sometimes our meetings go to 6:30 at night. I don't get paid. The guys that kind of get paid. I work very, very hard for that board. Now, if you represent Herkimer County and you want to make a comment or not retort a comment about an IDA, you should at least check and see who's on the board. There's only like 7 on the board.
Yep.
I have been an officer since 2013. I'm on the Herkimer County Health Net Board. I'm on the Herkimer County Historical Board. So I'm the chamber director of the Herkimer County Chamber. So you get the team, Herkimer, 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 Herkimer. And when I see an email tossed around that says Herkimer is useless, guess what, guys? I'm going to call up. They would, too. If they found an email and I said that about them, I would get a call. I'd get more than a call. And we're supposed to get a visit. My email says this. Mr. Vindy, and I have always been good to him. He may be able to meet with us at the end of the month at our board meeting. He may be. Well,
here's what
I think better be there. But you know what?
Yes.
It should be on the agenda. It should be an open meeting. It will be.
John, here's what we're getting from Anthony Brindisi now. I'm happy to talk about it later, and coming on the air and talking about it. But I'm in Albany now at a breakfast, and I'm unable to come on right now. So we did reach out to him. So
listen, I hope he hears this. He's always been a gentleman to me. But when somebody says something about him, he's just like me. He fires back. Well, I just fired back.
Yeah.
Now, he's the only one that represents part of my county. Although Steve DeMeo and Edge, it's supposed to be Oneida Herkimer County. Okay? So I would say the same thing.
John,
now, Stenti, who I like a lot, too,
yep.
He doesn't have anything to do with my county. So.
Yeah. John, I'm gonna move on. I appreciate your time. By the way, this is your best performance on this program to date.
Thank you, Bill. It's not a performance. It's from my heart.
I understand that.
I do not like that kind of stuff.
I get it.
Hate it.
I get it. Thank you so much.
They should do their job and leave me alone.
John Scarano, Herkimer County. Thank you so much.
Thank you, John.
He was also the roast master at my roast, and this is even better than that. And he got me pretty good.